earlier today, I told Liz that we've been wanting to have her on our stage for so long, and after hearing this piece and it coming just at like such a great time, or an important time to hear this, and knowing that it's new, you're on the stage on the perfect day. So, thank you. I'm going to be thinking about that piece a lot. Up next, we're welcoming back Claudia. Claudia Delfina Cardona is a poet from San Antonio, Texas. She received her MFA from Texas State University. She's the co-founder and editor-in-chief of Chifladazine, a publication that highlights the creative works of Latinas and Latinxs. Her poetry can be found in Cosmonauts Avenue, Tinderbox Poetry Journal, and Apogee. Claudia's favorite flavor of ice cream depends on the day. She knows for certain that her sun is in strawberry, her moon is in chocolate, and her rising is in cookies and cream. Please welcome to the stage, Claudia.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Malvern and Anara Chandra, for this wonderful space and opportunity. I love Liz and Melanie so much, and it's great to read alongside them. So Adelimon recently came to our university and said that we should think of our family trees, but instead of poets per se, it'll be like specific poems. And I haven't done that yet, but I think it's like a really cool project if you're like a fiction writer or like poet, to think of like the poems that have like influenced you. And so I really love Adelia Prado, who's this like Brazilian poet, and she's like really funny and like weird. And this is like definitely on my tree, and I just want to like call on her voice before I read some of my work. It's called Murmur. Sometimes I get up at daybreak, thirsty, flecks of dream stuck to my night clothes, and I go look at the children in their beds. Right then, what I'm most sure of is we die. It bothers me not to have coined the wonderful phrase at cock's crow. The children go on snoring, fragments in sharp focus, his hands crossed on his chest like the dead, that little cut on his shoulder. The girl today, so intent on a new dress, is now fast asleep, oblivious. And this is terribly sad. After she told me, I think it would be even better with a ruffle, and cracked a half smile, embarrassed by so much happiness. How is it that we mortals get bright-eyed because a dress is blue and has a bow? I take a sip, and the water is bitter, and I think, sex is frail, even the sex of men. Okay, so, as my intro kind of shows, I love astrology, and I'm going to be reading a lot of astrology poems. I'm an Aries. Are there any other Aries? Ben? Yeah. Allison? Great. My moon is in Leo, so I'm just extra. Rising is in Libra, so I'm kind of level-headed, but I'm also mostly indecisive. And I'm going to start with a poem I recently wrote, inspired by Morgan Parker's Matt poem, which you should all read if you haven't read it. I feel like I tweet about it like once a week. Morgan Parker sees it too, it's great. And also inspired by Your Best American Girl by Mitski. It's called My Own Private Corpus Christi. On I-37, those 3 hours were like days. We drank Great Four Locos till the early Texas sky peeled back like an onion, and the rain looked like tinsel. Our favorite alternative hits of the 90s and early 2000s were played, and we sang each one like we meant it. The Shell gas station signs looked like nearby stars at 4 a.m. Matt sped to one in a small town and bought us breakfast tacos, shrouded in grease-stained yellow paper. The smell of hot sauce and malt liquor stained my car seats for weeks. And when the morning unfolded like a letter, the gray sky half blinded me. We made our way to an expensive oyster bar, and the whole city looked empty. We tried to go to the aquarium, but it was closed. On our defeated walk to the car, Matt told me about the time he saw a dead whale wash ashore when he was a kid. I wanted him to think of it as significant or traumatic, but he did not. I wish that he did. And now I'm in a different city, getting lost in a residential neighborhood with a friend. I tell her that sometimes I find myself missing Corpus, and she reminds me how stupid that trip was, how close to death we were, and she's right. The truth is that I miss infatuation, how it can wash over you and feel impossible, like trying to drink a flood. Matt is at a bar on the other side of town, leaning into someone who is not me. On my walk home, I spoon chocolate ice cream into my mouth and peer into every bright and naked window. One shows me its mid-century modern interior, while so white they radiate. A man's silhouette is in the kitchen, and I imagine he is waiting for his wife, who is out doing hot yoga. Her tattoos bending along the small curves of her body while he makes pad thai. I am so jealous. I cannot help but imagine the sort of future where I watch Matt undress my copy of Magnolia Electric Co. and our apartment has birthday cake lighting. Everything is honey-soaked, and Corpus is more than days away. We couldn't make it by morning, even if we tried. Okay. So, as I was saying, Moon in Leo, which means I love to be extra, I love the drama. This is titled Moon in Leo. I wear agave plants, stars, mermaids on my ears. I put bleach in my hair and leap across summer cement while a Brazilian psychedelic song trembles in my headphones. When the hours lean closer to midnight, I walk alone into Zelix and take off my gray blazer. The undoing is my favorite part. I take time to reapply my brick red lipstick and toast to the full moon and friendship. My favorite outfits are in the colors of Culebra Road, the orange of Ajaritos, the yellow of a taqueria, the blush pink of a paleta. I dress like this partly because I want to be noticed, but mostly because I want to celebrate that all of these days are mine. So I love Carrie Fountain, as everyone should, and this is inspired by one of her poems. It's called, the poem it's inspired by is called Yes, and this poem is called Done. I'm done wearing my most seductive shoes because, as expected, I find myself wanting to do more sitting than dancing. Done with nights that make me unspool like a ribbon. Done with my hurt, cumbia circling around the edges of my body, the sort of dance that keeps all the neighbors up at night. Done with my addiction for the sort of romance that's unsustainable in daylight and awkward in public. Done assuming that white men know what to do with me. When I feel ashamed of how I love, I remind myself of what my friend Jesse once said. Us Mexicans love violently. I knew exactly what he meant. It's true. I love in that Aztec human sacrifice type of way, flint blade and all. But even more, I love like a rainbow parachute on a schoolyard, how it's pitched upwards and swells with air. The sky becomes a color wheel, the child's heart a frenzy. So when I was doing my thesis, my director was like, try to write about things that are not related to love or desire. And I was like, every poem is a love poem. How can you say it? So this is like my attempt at trying that. It's called Celebration. How wonderful is it that tomorrow morning I will drink coffee and every day after that. This year, I'm going to try to wear a color other than black. Buy breakfast tacos forever unfloured. Go to movies alone and drink a bitter beer, tasting of wet pennies. It's these moments I have to celebrate. Finding a Talking Heads record on sale, reaching out to an old friend, and yes, they reply. A dress with spaghetti straps. The fact that someone decided to coin the term spaghetti strap. A bus that slices the air, reminding me of how thankful I am to have a body. There's so much bad, America, I know. You, the cause of most of it. But still, there's so much joy. I will make perfume out of this life like I did in my childhood. I pluck the brightest petals of my front lawn amapolas and mix them in with some cinnamon and vanilla. Even when the kitchen counter was full of mess, I still found delight in my liquid bouquet and how I could share it with the air. Do we have any Pisces? Okay. Shout out to Pisces, y'all. Y'all like to cry a lot, but you know, I do too. I have a lot of Pisces in my chart. It's titled Pisces. It's true. There's an altar in my bedroom dedicated to every person I've kissed. I spend most days praying to the mid-July makeouts in my car. Hands stuck in hair, mouths greedy like slot machines. Each moment is melted chocolate. Knots of gold necklaces in the throat. Yes, this all lives inside me, and I do not have a choice. I want to enter all my lovers' memories like a soiree. I am water, and I will fit wherever there is room. Wear red heels caked in mud and a crown of white roses. Drink too much and ask about childhood trauma on the balcony. Dance while the disco ball winks at me and I wink back. Soon after, my body hangs heavy like telephone wire, and I remember all of the night's forgotten details, tucking them away like the leftover tortillas my grandmother used to roll up in her purse. She'd look at my mother and say, "Para más tarde." Okay, so one time my ex-boyfriend told me that our relationship wasn't like a Sandra Cisneros story, but it literally was. It was like Never Marry a Mexican. And I was like, here's a PDF, this is what it is, like, I'm sorry. And then just have like another you tell me like last week, this isn't a Morgan Parker goal. Why are you? And I'm like, it is though. Like, you can't deny it. Like, I'm writing it. So this is titled, This Isn't a Sandra Cisneros Short Story. I finger the plastic divider that reads Patti Smith at the record store. Across the street from St. Anne's Catholic Church, where I was baptized. I look at Patty with bangs like me, standing so defiantly in black and white. I remember that I owned this record, a gift from last Valentine's Day, that you in fact bought it from this same record store. I touch Patty's name once more and wonder if you ask the owner for his recommendations, or if you watch me flip through Just Kids at the bookstore. A month after the gifted Patty record of Roses and Wine, we walked down Manhattan sidewalks full of dirty snow. I held on to my beret in a color you called coffee with too much cream. You lead me to a bar by NYU where the drinks had Sananto prices, and we talked about our lives together, a trenza of love, 3 rum and cokes in. That next spring, I wore a low-cut black dress and held baby's breath as I walked to the bakery to meet someone new. My saliva swirled like starlight in his mouth, and after bathroom sex was had at the sweetheart soiree, I was still in love with you then. I leave the record store with Karma Chameleon because I've spent too much of this year slouched over in a jean jacket. Still, I cannot help but look for your car every time I pass by Rosewood Street. After Mel sells back an ex's record collection, we go to our favorite diner, and I tell her that all of my sins belong to me, and that tonight I will massage the earth with my 2-inch black boots until I am escorted out. Sometimes the world strikes me as lovely when I ask strangers about love on the bar patio. Lean across the table. Tell me something worth living for. Got 2 more left. I'll do 2 more. Okay. Inspired by Frank O'Hara, theories also. It's called Having a Lone Start with You. Having a Lone Star with you is sexier than sleeping with you. I lean across the table and seal your Miller High Life, and I hand you my tall, red and white aluminum body. The doormen shout, but right now, it's only us. Green light halos are buzzing flesh, your jean jacket, my tight black skirt, our fingers seared with the smell of tobacco, buttons of my blouse clamoring to be undone. The roof drips with desire, and the roads are full of stretch marks. Before the lights come on, we kiss to Wicked Game like it's 1989, and I'm glinting like a blue heart-shaped balloon. And how quickly we end up in a bed, a couch, a car. When you re-loop that belt of yours, I refuse to kiss goodbye, though it's all I want. Oh, I wish we could be back at the bar, itching for salt in the mouth. I'd rather have you there, bending towards me, opening your feelings like a gift in front of a crowd. So, I'm gonna give y'all an option, like a Goosebumps choose your own adventure situation. We could do, yeah, okay. Do you want a poem inspired by Zapata or a poem inspired by Sonic Youth?
Zapata.
Come through. Comrades. Okay. It is called My Zapata Mustache Man. We danced in the Maverick Plaza, surrounded by old couples in lawn chairs, and papel picado waving in the breeze, like the white flag surrender of my heart. It was July, and you lapped me up like the salt on the rim of the Dos Equis. You shouldn't be drinking, because it upsets your stomach. It was only us under a string of jalapeno-shaped lights. For you, I pretended to know how to cumbia. Your love, long and elegant like Flaco Jimenez's accordion, like the sound of the Hano synthesizers in an empty dance hall, like what I imagine the last call looks like at Sombra's nightclub, the club I overheard in my parents' car. I imagine men with glossy eyes and ranchero hats, and women that look like my tia on my father's side, exchanging glances near the entrance. Ford F-150s surround the club like a game of Red Robin. This is what our lives were like together. Outline of a knife in Levi jeans, burn of the first kiss with a stranger, sound of boot against cigarette filter, gravel sizzling like pop rocks. Thank you so much.